our final game in the Big Three breakdown, Virginia at number 10, Clemson. Clemson is a 21.5-point favorite noon on ACC Network.
It's gone down a point. It opened up at 22.5. It's down to 21.
Wow. Okay. A lot of interesting storylines here. Of course, the Tony Elliott storyline coming back to Clemson, one of Mac's old coaches. Mac and Coach E go way back. So that's going to be interesting there. And I think from a pure spread standpoint, I am wondering if Dabo's going to, if he would run the score up on Tony Elliott. Like I have had that thought because I don't think Dabo would. I think Tony is Dabo's guy, but that's just a little side situation there. Clemson's been playing great. Virginia's coming off a tough loss to Louisville, where they played Louisville well. They had every chance to win it, as we just talked about. Louisville went on that drive at the end of the game. I still can't get over Virginia's punting in that game. I feel like the punting was just a disaster. If you do that at Clemson, if you let Clemson score and then you punt it off some dude's head and then let Clemson score again to start the game, you're done. It's over. So I don't know, Max. Special teams have really, really bothered me because I love this Virginia team. But give me a reason why Virginia could keep this close.
Yeah, I'm not giving you that. But what I will give you, what I will give you is you seem to forget that every team that plays Clemson, specifically in Death Valley, their punting number gets quadrupled. So they turn into superstars. So you will have no. Yeah, they will. They will. You will have no punting woes. You will have no punting problems. In fact, it'll be the best punting of the year. I guarantee that. It's as old as time. It's as old as time. We see that. Let's dive into the coaching thing first, because I am so fascinated to see this, because we kind of talked with Coach E a little bit about this, and I remember bringing it up at Media Day as well. It's gonna be weird for him. Now he's probably downplaying it this week, and certainly when the ball is snapped, he's locked in. He's doing his job. But pregame, there's going to be a bunch of emotions going through there. You played there. You coached there. You won national championships there. And now you're sitting in the visitor locker room on the other side. And I'm sure people are going to give him a warm ovation, and they should. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. But it's going to be weird on third down when everyone's screaming, trying to kill your quarterback. It's going to be strange, and it's going to be weird for him. But it is kind of cool, to see my coach and my offensive coordinator going at it head to head. I think this is the first time. It is the first time Coach Sweeney has gone head to head with an assistant as a head coach. I'm sure he's played a couple as assistants or whatever. I remember Billy Napier back in the day, 2015, in the Natty. Billy was on the Alabama staff that we lost to. So I know he's had some of those, and maybe Kevin Steele a time or two, but never as a head coach. So I'm excited for that. Excited to see just kind of the emotions of that. And then just in the game, there have been some great bright spots for Virginia, but I just think that all is about to get overwhelmed. I mean, Clemson is just playing in a different world right now from what we've seen the last 3 years. It's really getting back to that style of ball where they're so comfortable pushing it downfield, defensively doing their thing and what they want to accomplish. And then, of course, the run game from Phil Moffitt and this offensive line. So I think that's probably the biggest thing I'm looking in this, KG. How can Cade continue to develop? How can these receivers continue to grow and really shine? Because, I mean, you look last week, we saw TJ Moore and Troy Stellato ball. I mean, we hadn't seen that all year consistently. And from an entire game standpoint, those two looked fantastic. And Antonio Williams, he's kind of the alpha. I think he is really separated, and then everyone else is still very good, but he's the alpha dog there, and the relationship between he and Cade has been fun to watch. So I think that's the key. The running up the score thing will be interesting just because of that mutual respect and love, but I don't think 21 is out of the question. So it's at 21 right now. Maybe you literally take Virginia because you think 21's the number, and you're terrified of that hook. Because I don't know if he'll do 4 touchdowns. I feel good about 3. Let's see if we can get this line a little more down. But I feel good about 3 touchdowns plus.
He won't. I really firmly believe that.
I think he will.
I don't think Dabo will run the score up here. And I mean, of course, Virginia fans are like, you guys are just assuming that's going to happen. But I love
it's a 21.5-point spread. That's why we're assuming it. It's literally what everyone thinks.
I know. And look, I am the resident who on this podcast. I want to add that I want to see this Clemson defense deal with Calandria and deal
Yeah.
with what he does. Calandria is a tough guy to bring down. He's a tough guy to predict. Half the
Yeah.
time, I don't think he knows what he's doing, right? Or what he's about to do. But that's what's so difficult about
Yeah.
Calandria. So
Yeah.
I'm excited to see how this defense handles it. I think this D line specifically and the linebackers need to continue to get better. We've
Right.
talked about that. Even though they're not giving up a bunch of points, it just feels very much like a bend don't break situation. But Mac, maybe because I am a Who and I love this Virginia team and I've been watching them very closely. I'm going to take Virginia to cover. Let's just do it. And I don't think Dabo will run up the score. I'm going to say
I think
Clemson
it's a great
wins.
pick. I think it's a super safe pick.
Clemson wins by 20. Like, it's close.
Yeah.
I'm going to be sweating it, but that's what I'm going with.
Yeah.
And right before the bye week for Clemson. Keep that in mind.
Right. Right. Just for fun, and just for the competitive spirit, I'll go Tigers. But one thing that's interesting, I'm looking on the Underdog app here and looking at this game. Calandria to throw a pick is only 0.6 odds. So they think like he's doing it. They're not giving you all your money. They think he's going to do it. I think you hammer that, by the way. Sorry. Love you, brother. But I think Clemson's been so good at taking the football away, whether it's a tip and a pick, just straight great play. That secondary's been balling, and I think he's going to take some risks. I think he's going to get in the position that he has to take some risks. And Clemson's going to come down with that football. So if you're looking for another gimme, that might be one to throw into your multiple picks that you're doing here.